Hi guys, welcome back to another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob, and today I shall be attempting to take this Allis Chalmers motor scraper from shabby to shiny. This one's taken it out of me, to be honest. This has been a hard project. It's the king size Matchbox series, made in England by Lesney, and there's a lot of parts to this one. What I actually did was kind of buy basically some backup models in order to then create one good one. You may remember I unboxed this in an unboxing video recently, and yeah, you know, it certainly needed a restoration. I'm going to call this a restoration plus because I'm going to try and make this look as realistic as possible. So, here we have 1, 2, 3. Now 3 is better than 1. I will only be restoring 1 today, but I found that there were certain parts broken or missing on the one I had, and I see these other 2 for sale, and I had to snap them up. You know, to make sure that I had everything to make the best possible casting. So a very cool kind of design. Allis Chalmers, later known as Fiat Allis, after a buyout in the mid-1970s, produced heavy equipment at its plant in Springfield, Illinois from 1928 until 1985. But you can just about imagine seeing this kind of going across, digging up, kind of what, you know, just seeing that little seat there. That's, you know, it's a big old piece of machinery that one person had to manage. Just being in, you know, imagine being in the kind of factories that build these things. Must have been quite some spectacle. But as you can see on these castings, there's some kind of damage or some kind of break within each one. So, and you can see kind of there, the whole back end of that middle one is missing. Certain fins are missing. I've only got 1 spring remaining out of all 3 models. Some of the back part is broken off. We've got 2 models with plastic wheels and 1 with metal. So I think I'll be using kind of like that piece from that one, the front end from this one, the wheels from this one, some of the tyres, because the rear tyres are all bashed up on all 3 models, so I'll be kind of mixing and matching there. But here it is taken apart. It's probably taken me a good hour, and there you go, look, took one apart. That snapped. So I'm glad I had the backup models. Got another one here where I just could not get the wheels off of this. So another reason to have had backups. The metal wheels there, certainly an improvement over the plastics. But what I've done is I've gone through basically what is required, each piece, and picked out the best of the bunch. And it is quite the Frankenstein, but I think all the better for it. So in the foot-long hot dog jar goes some boiling water and a couple of teaspoons of caustic soda. Having to be quite careful here not to kind of put too much in at too quick a time, because otherwise that just bubbles over the top, even in a foot-long hot dog jar. And it is going like the clappers in there. I like to see that. You can see that there's already a tinge or a taint to that water. The paint's already coming off. Where it's exposed, that's where it really does fizz away. And then of course it goes underneath. You can see some of the red paint that was on the engine there already kind of floated to the top of the jar. And I'm just going to leave this be and let it do its business for 10 minutes or so. And whilst I'm doing that, I've gone through all the tyres and picked out the 4 best that I had. And then now, still with my gloves on, it's still very hot to the touch. It's probably been a good 10 minutes though, and you can really see it's calmed down a little bit, but all that crud that has come off, and you can just see the paint just falling off of the casting now, and floating around in that water. So a little trip to the bathroom, and underneath a hot tap, and this is what we're left with. Probably 95% of the paint is gone. What is kind of, I guess, holding on for dear life just easily flicks off, to be fair. And the whole casting is now covered in this oxidization that again easily comes off with the wire brush attachment on my little rotary tool. It takes a bit of time, to be fair. You know, it's a very intricate design, but very cool, I think you'll agree. So here's the little tack life that I've been using, and yeah, probably, I want to say maybe even up to an hour later, everything is polished and buffed, and you can really see the wording underneath now. I'd like to say number 6, Allis Chalmers Motor Scraper, Matchbox Series King Size, made in England by Leslie. Great little bit of detail, quite accurate I think when I've kind of studied the photographs. Like I say, I wanted to try and make it as realistic as possible, so you know, choosing the paint was the key here. But first of all, I'm going to hit it up with my Tamiya Fine Surface Primer. Some great detail on this little engine. Making sure to get into all the little nooks and crannies, hitting it up from every which way and angle. Not like the normal castings where you can kind of hold it up and hit it from all 4 sides. It's up, down, left, right, into the corners, all sorts and everywhere. And as you can see, it looked like I had a tiny little bit of water on the casting there, so rather than going any further, put that to one side and then I adjust that off camera. Just kind of took the water off, rubbed it down a little bit, and then of course continued on the spray. I must admit, I don't do too many of this style of kind of, I guess, tractor vehicle or plant equipment, but when I do enjoy it. It's harder than, you know, just doing a small little car, to be fair. It certainly takes a lot longer. I've probably got maybe 10, 12 hours into this thing. And I've spread it out over quite a bit of time, to be honest, because as I'm going along, little bits that I need that I don't have, kind of make little eBay purchases and then pick it up again. Of course, this one's got new decals on it. after this dries, I do kind of look out for a little bit of attention to detail to rub down where needed, ready for the final paint. And we'll be going with some enamel paints today. I used this combination on a previous one where it's, I would say, almost 99% yellow, and then just a touch of that red, which kind of gives it an almost, I don't know, I think the colour's almost like a JCB plant yellow or something like that. But it's a nice kind of creamy plant yellow that just goes on great, to be fair. Yellow is, for me, the hardest colour to paint. I actually have, would you believe, 6 coats on this one. I use quite a lot of paint. There's a lot to paint, but yeah. All I'm going to do, to be honest, is just show you the wheels that I've placed in this little box here. I want to really concentrate, really make as much effort as I can to get this casting as good as possible. And as if by magic, here we are. It's now a day later. So yeah, would you believe this has now got 6 coats of paint, and I'm very happy with the finish and the colour. Certainly didn't intend to do 6 kind of coats, but after 3 coats, I just felt that it just needed a little bit more. It was almost like in some areas it was a little bit thin. But again, that's the yellow colour for you. It's a bit of a pig. But yeah, after 6 coats, it's all good. And the tyres back on there. Very happy with those. And then you've got like the axle ends, which I've kind of polished up and buffed up. Got the new decal here as well. Relatively cheap on eBay. I think I only paid a few pounds for it. There you go, Allis Chalmers, 360, and then some other bits. I've had to kind of create and certainly be creative in order to put this back together. But here's just a little reminder of what she looked like. And then this is the result. So you can see that I've kind of put a light dusting on that front grille, the headlights there. Obviously with the wheels back on, I tried the old Marty method, bashing it on there. In the end, I actually put a bit of JD weld, is it? And then kind of chromed it afterwards, and it looks great. Got the Allis Chalmers there. I was a little bit stuck with the springs. I looked everywhere. I went to the shops. I went to probably 10 different shops. Couldn't find anything suitable. In the end, would you believe, I took apart an EU plug socket converter from like UK to France, for example, and inside there was this spring, and I cut it in half, stretched it out, turned it over, and it works like a charm. But yeah, really happy with this one. And actually, so at this point I can kind of really tell you this is a commission job. Chap called Mike McHugh, he approached me and said, oh, you know, actually my grandfather worked on these kind of plant equipment. He worked there for 36 years up until it closed, and he was in charge of international sales for Brazil and other parts of South America, and equipment like this motor scraper would have been built at that plant. So, you know, very obviously a direct and personal connection for Mike. And I, you know, of course I had to do it. You know, I thought that was a great little story, and Mike's kind of commissioned me to do this one, so I'm going to send this off to him shortly, and for his dad, actually for his birthday at the end of this month. So happy birthday to Mr. McHugh. But yeah, I like this one. So thanks, Mike, for commissioning me, trusting in me to do it. But anyway, I just want to take this opportunity to thank my patrons, and thank you all for watching. Hopefully you like this one, and I'll see you on the next one.